Hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode 2, So Body Fit TV. Today we have a special guest. This guest I met through a community event, and since that community event, we kind of been locked in since then. That's a little bit of backstory. We met at Divine 9 Against 9. It was a grant that Coco Circle won, and she had reached out to Coach Ty. Shout out Coach Ty. And Coach Ty brought this young man with him. Coach Ty used to train here at the So Body Fit Gym, and he teaches a lot of kids about boxing. He trains his son, who was a boxer, professional boxer as well. But this gentleman came in and did some mitt work and showed these young kids what a champion looks like. This young man bought his belt. He stayed the whole event. He engaged with the community, took pictures with everyone. Again, it was my first time meeting this young man, and you don't meet too many genuine people who really about the community, who really want to interact with the community. Since that time, this was back in December, and since then, now we're in April. And so just a little bit about this man. He is a professional boxer. We did go see this man last week at Maryland Live. His name is TreyPound. Mr. Ervin Fuller, 10K Trey on IG. If you don't want to look him up. So a little bit about this guy, man. He had a very impressive win last week. Knocked the guy down in the first round, unanimous decision win. 10-0, super bantamweight champ, regional champion, ranked 19th in the country. I'm super excited to have him here on the show today. And y'all, let's give it up for Mr. 10K TreyPound Fuller, y'all.
That's good, man. Thanks for having me.
What's up,
bro.
Trey? Welcome to the
Nice,
show,
Trey.
man. I just want to say thanks for joining.
Appreciate it.
You're my second guest. I reached out to you early and said, bro, I'm doing this thing. I want you to come on the show. Like I said, we met last December with Coach Ty. You came on and gave a boxing demonstration for a lot of kids. And we were in Southeast, in the heart of Southeast at Martha's Table. And a lot of kids had never even seen a real boxing belt. So you brought your belt to the community event. A lot of kids were impressed to see that. You stayed for the entire event when a lot of people, of your caliber, they come pop in for the photo ops and they actually get out of there. You was like, bro, I really want to be in this. I like this. You wanted to find other ways to give back. And so again, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, man.
So I'm gonna just get right into it, man. What a very impressive win you had last week. First round, sat the guy down. Could you talk to me a little bit about, that first round and the other rounds that you had, going in there? I think it was a 6-round fight.
Yeah.
So to tell me about it, what was you feeling? What was your, mindset going into the fight?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely for this fight, the mindset was kill or be killed. Definitely. It was on a big platform on ProBox TV under No Excuse Promotions. So when I got the call for that, and they told me my opponent, this guy was fighting, he was 5-2 with 4 knockouts. So he was a big puncher, guy coming from Mexico. So I knew he was going to be real gritty. So I was just making sure I was on my P's and Q's going into that first round. It was just really like filling him out, seeing what he brung. But that shot of surprise, that jab, knocked him down. So I'm just like, just be patient. You know what I'm saying? I know I got him, but other than that, going into that second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round, he was a gritty guy, man. I hit him with everything under the kitchen sink. He would not go away. But it showed the skill that I got. You need those tough guys building up in your career to get you to that next level. And I felt as though I did good, put on the show for everybody.
Yeah, man. You had a lot of fans in the crowd, a lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of people that were supporting you, that was actually trying. It's funny though, as a fight fan, boxing was my first love. Before it was basketball, before it was football, me and my father watched boxing. I grew up as a Ray Leonard fan. That's my GOAT is Ray Leonard. Seeing him fight the biggest fights, Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, all of these Hall of Fame fighters. And actually he's a Hall of Fame fighter. And I think we got Sugar Ray, Riddick Bowe, and Mark Two Shop Johnson.
Yeah.
And actually, I took a picture with Mark Two Shop. He was there at your fight. Me and my son was walking out. And I said, son, that's Mark Two Shop Johnson. He had no idea who he was. I said, he was the man back in his heyday. But back to your fight and what I observed as a fight fan, like you said, the guy was very tough. I noticed he came out with some body shots early on, and you wasn't even phased by it. You took it. I mean, it was some good body shots. I was just looking for you to maybe show some type of flinching and just anything, right? And you
Yeah,
stayed 10 toes down,
yeah,
and
for
you like you
sure.
said, you weathered the brief storm that he brought on, and then you just got as the rounds got on, you could see you get more and more comfortable, and then your bobbing and weaving, your footwork, your head
Right.
movement, jabbing, punching, the left hook. That was one of the punches that really stood out to me was your left hook, your left jab. Very impressive, man. But tell us, like, how did this all start? Like, where did all this come from? Like, what age were you when you started to box, and how did you find boxing in as your love profession?
Man, honestly, I come from a boxing family. My father used to box and my uncle used to box. So from being around there, I got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. It's like 9 of us. So we deep in
Wow,
our
y'all
so
mob deep.
yeah, for sure. So seeing my father boxing and stuff, it made me want to do it. And then he had my older sister, my older brother. So of course I'm the middle child, but at that time I was the youngest. So I wanted to be around too. So it went from me hitting the mitts, just running, working out with them to me actually going to the gym while I'm playing football, basketball and stuff. I'm still boxing and stuff, spawn, but I'm in and out. I ain't really taking it serious. To me, as I started to get old, I really started to lock in with boxing. And then once I get out of high school, I'm competing in tournaments, winning fights. So I really took it serious. I'm like, this is what I really want to do. So since then I locked in and now we right
We
here,
here
man.
now.
Yeah.
So what's some of your goals that you have, like, your next goal, your next fight, and where do you see yourself, down the line? What tell us.
Oh yeah, for sure. The goal is to keep winning, of course, and then get to that world champion level, and win my first world title. But I want to be the one in my family to do it, the break the generational curse, and to be the one that did what he said he was going to do. I'm trying to retire my mother, my father, my brothers, and my sisters. I don't want none of them to work or worry about nothing. So that's really my goal. I'm focused, locked in on that. When I accomplish all of that and everything that I want to do in the sport of boxing, then hey, I rest my case. I
Right,
throw,
you
you
could throw the
know what
gloves
I'm
up on the
saying? I can
line,
hang the
right?
gloves. So yeah, but I really just want to take care of my family. Of course, take care of me, but take care of my loved ones too.
So, as a trainer, I've dibbled and dabbed in boxing training, especially when Coach Ty was here. But I train a lot of basketball, football players, and just regular other people. Talk to me about your conditioning, your type of workout. Like, I know a lot of fighters, when they get ready to go into a fight,
Mm.
they'll, stop a lot of different things, their eating habits, train a little harder, less water, this diet. So talk to me about your diet, and the type of workout routine, or do you like stay in shape 365?
Man, I stay in shape all around. You gotta stay ready so you don't get ready. But at my gym, Hillcrest boxing gym with Coach Ernesto Rodriguez and Rogers Taylor, that's all we really focus on. If you're in great shape, blast shape, you can do everything you want to do, anything you want to do. You can control the fight. As you saying, in my last fight, I was able to adapt. I knew he wasn't going nowhere, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do what I want. I want you to slow down. I'm gonna slow you down at this pace, and I'm gonna pick it up when I want to. But conditioning is the main thing that my coach Ernesto presses for. You gotta be in shape. You gotta be in shape. You gotta be in shape. And then that's when the skills come into play. And going into this camp right here, Coach Ty, he good with the footwork and the conditioning skills. So I teamed up with him. I wanted to add something different. And he brought me up to a whole different level as well. And that's a fight. Some of the things that we worked on that we showed in the community outreach thing, it came into play with the footwork skills, being able to move somebody whenever you want to. Just get in my rhythm, just being having fun in there. And like you said, Sugar Ray Leonard, that's somebody else that I looked at. He was ringside at the fight. So just
Oh,
showing
he
them that I
was.
got, yeah,
Oh man, I missed that.
yeah.
That would have really made my day to see
He was
Sugar Ray there.
Yeah, he was ringside and he came past the gym to see me train that last week. So I
Wow.
definitely had to show him that I was watching him with the footwork. But yeah, for sure, definitely staying in shape all around. So watching what I'm eating, making sure I'm staying disciplined, working out, keeping my mind focused on boxing. Like it's just eat, sleep, boxing with me. Of course, you had your fun, but it's keeping the main thing for sure.
So with me, right? Discipline is the hardest thing for me with a boxer. Is not going out drinking. You a young dude. How old are you?
Right.
How old are you?
22.
Oh man, you really
Yeah.
young, right? You at the time when most youngers out here, going to St. Ives or Rose
Hmm.
Bar, getting it in. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
how do you like? Is it mental? Is it knowing, hey, I'm working towards something? I got a goal that I'm working towards. So you're not distracted. Is it having, your father, a strong camp around you? Like, what does it help? How do all those things like help you stay on track and help you stay disciplined?
Yeah, it's definitely every single last one of those things. But like you said, the foundation at home, the way I was raised by my mother and my dad, and then just really knowing the company you keep, that'll tell you everything about it by itself. And then just knowing what you want to do. I know my goals, I know what I want to do, and I know I got to sacrifice. So all of that can wait. I'm on my run. What they say, that 90-day run, but I'm on my mission. I'm tunnel vision. If it ain't about boxing or money getting me better, getting me closer to my goals,
It's a
you can't be
distraction.
around. Yeah, it's a distraction. I don't want no parts whatsoever, man.
Man, smart. Having that mindset and strong people around you, that's gonna help you get to where you want to go. The fact that you that disciplined this early in your life,
Sure.
I know success and all the dreams that you want and goals that you have for yourself are going to be achieved.
Appreciate
That's one of the things I talk about with people too, is just the discipline and sacrifice. I always talk about sacrifice and that you got to give up something to get something. You got to give up some of the things that you love to get the rewards that you want on the
it.
back end. And I just want to shout you out, man. That's
Appreciate
very impressive to hear. And a lot of times you hear dudes talking, and they just say the fluff, but you can actually hear it in your voice and your passion that that's how you live in your life.
it.
And so that's commendable to hear. So talk to me about your journey, right? You're 10 and 0. You had a very impressive win. So talk to me about some of the early fights, things that you've gone through, some of the trials and tribulations that have helped you get to where you are now, where you seems like right now you about to like hit the diving board and just spring up and blow up. So talk to me about those early fights and the middle fights and to where you are now. Like what you think those fights helped you prepare for and get you where you are now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those early fights. Well, my coach, he got the greatest game plan. So these all fights as building me. It's not no I'm going into the fight anybody, just a random duck or anything. All these fights are building fights. So like the pro debut fight I had, I was fighting somebody that had way more experience than me, that I had no clue about. Like the amateur background, had way more experience than me, but I just believed in my skill. It wasn't no doubt in my mind the work that I put in. So going in there with the skill level he had, the amateur background he had, I made it look easy. So it's like every single fight, I get better and better, better and better. And every single fight, the game plan, it's a different game plan that we attack. And we craft in the gym for them 8 to 9 weeks of straight dog training camp in there. It elevates us. And then when you got God in your corner, you're not worried about nothing. So I just stay prayed up. I stay working, and as these fights been going on, I've been getting better and better. And everybody been noticing. So I just been staying the course. That's what really
Man,
it.
that's great to hear that. So talk to me about where you from.
I'm from Sea Pleasant, Maryland.
See President Maryland, high school you went to.
I'm with the Fairmont Heights and Crossland High School.
Did you play any ball while you were
Oh
at
yeah,
Fairmont or
oh yeah,
Crossland?
for sure. I
What
played football when I was at Fairmont, and I ran track. And when I got kicked out of Fairmont, I had to go to Crossland. That's when I played football for Crossland.
what position did you play in football?
I played slot receiver, corner, and running back. So
Them some hard positions. I
yeah,
played football. Shout out to HD Wilson. We won a championship. You know what it is. But playing cornerback, slot receiver, those are probably some of the two toughest positions on
yeah,
the football field because you're running all day as the cornerback, checking probably some of the best receivers, and then being in the slot going against some of the top cornerbacks. So I could see how that probably helped you translate to boxing because that's a very physical
oh
contact
yeah, for
sport.
sure.
I'm still dealing with some probably post injuries just from practice. When I was playing football, man, I went to school with we had a great team. We set the DCIAA record in shutouts. Oh, by the way, that still ain't been broke. But make a long story short, Guys like Lorenzo Carter, Eric Shepard, Brian Johnson, Marcus Spears, Kernan
Mm-hmm.
Spade, Terrence Dawkins. A lot of the guys that I played they went D1, and we talking 93, 94.
Yeah.
That having guys like not your whole team, not just one D1, but Brian Johnson, Brian, I ain't forget you. Some of these guys, Girardi, Brian, Marcus, they made it to the league. And so going against these dudes in practice, I knew that they would be able to go to the league and perform and and have change some of their family dynamics just as well as you changing it. And
Yeah.
so I do understand how like different sports can help prepare for something that you do later down in the line. And that's something that I've kind of learned to lean on is my football experience to try to train guys about football, their technique and footwork, things like that. The same thing that you
Yeah.
said that translate the boxing is your footwork. Even in basketball, how we told players about playing off 2 feet, different things like that, being able to read and react, just like boxing, being able to read your opponent, react to what they doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a very impressive fight this past Saturday. When do you think you'll be fighting again, or when do you think is it working with the promoters? Is it like you said, you sound like you got a great trainer who's guiding you along the way and not trying to throw you out there too soon, too fast? Because we've seen that with a lot of boxers. They just had this meteoric rise,
Right.
and then when they face some adversity, they crash. So, like, what are some of the things like short term that you are working towards, or other goals that you have, short term goals right now for yourself?
Just really perfecting my craft, being an all around better fighter. But like you said, making sure I get those fights that build me into that top caliber guy. So when I get to that top level and I really cross over with the competition, I'd be ready for it. Getting into those high rounds. Right now, I'm at 6 rounds, but after 6 rounds, I go to 8, to 10, and then the championship rounds, 12 rounds. So them 12-round fights, that's 36 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So just really just trying to all around better myself, get better with not even just the physical side of boxing, but the business side as well. Just all around, just bettering myself, getting that, being in the names with the top guys, of course, and just building my way up, getting high in the rankings to be able to compete for those belts. Just minor things that to get me to the next level.
Got you. So let me ask you. So it was Pro Box
Yeah, Pro Box TV.
who sponsored that. Is that under Lamont Roach? Because I thought
Uh,
I saw his name associated with it. Is that his promotion, or he part of it, or
Nah, I guess they team up and work with each other. No, they
okay?
got no excuse promotion, so that's them. So they
Got you.
team up with Pro Boxing and come together and put together those big cards for the Denver area. And as you can see, they coming off another great fight with going against the face of boxing. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
was gonna get into that, and
yeah,
actually, let's just go ahead and get right in it because I'm a huge Tank fan, right? I'm a huge Tank fan. My son is a fight fan, and we talk about boxing a lot. And for me, I'm all DC. I'm pro DC. My whole body tattooed, all DC. So I told my son, I said, "Yeah, son, I love Davis, man, but it's hard for me to go against my city, right? The dudes where I come from who helped shape me." And I told him, I say, son, never count out a DC dude. And man, he like shocked the world. Like, I mean, I was counting on a good performance,
yeah,
but I almost felt like he had more to give in that fight. Like I felt like he shocked himself a little bit because he was doing the right things, but I felt like he could have really pressed the issue.
yeah.
Nothing bad though, but I just felt like if he would have just risked a little more, I felt he would have probably come home with it. But tell me your take on the fight.
Honestly, from the jump, I felt as though a lot of people were sleeping on Lamont, but the people who know boxing know that Lamont is a hell of a fighter. He a world champion for a reason, you know what I'm saying? But they know he got the skills, he got the power, the speed, everything. He got the whole resume to compete with somebody like Tank. And little do they know they fought twice in the amateur, so they got that history. And when you got that history with somebody, you kind of know how they coming. But I felt as though he came in there with a chip on his shoulder, and I was telling a lot of people you can't sleep on him at all. And I felt as though he was catching Tank at the right time. So it was like everything that
Bro,
was going on with him, like all odds was against Lamont, and he showed that he was one of them guys. He showed that he was a force to be reckoned with, and that you everybody should know who Lamont Roach is for sure. Man.
he was going against the whole crowd, the
Yeah.
whole Barclays. I've been in the Barclays. I actually was in the Barclays when Tank knocked out Rolly.
Mm.
Me and my man Jay, shout out to Jay real quick. Me and Jay went to that fight, and we saw Tank knock out Rolly. And New York loved Tank, right? So I
Yeah.
knew Lamont had his back against the wall, but like I said, coming from DC, the odds is always against you. And I knew he wasn't going to be scared of the moment.
Right.
It's just that I didn't know how he was going to perform. And round after round, I was like, yo, he really have a shot.
Sure.
And then when he caught Tank and the infamous, the jail went in the eye thing, I was like, oh no. I was like, nah, I don't know about that. That should be a
Yeah.
point, bro. He went down, if I ain't mistaken, right?
Yeah.
And
He
I was
took
like,
that
oh,
knee.
bro, huh? Oh, so the gloves went down,
Mm.
and I'm like, oh, he touched the mat. I said, oh
Yeah.
no, that's a point. And
Yeah.
but boxing, he was able to go wipe
Politics,
his
man.
eye. But that's what champions deserve. I mean, they were all there to see Tank, and
Yeah.
he's deserved that opportunity. He's helped build the sport. He, like you said, is the face of boxing right now. Everybody wants to see him. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen. He's knocked out what 28 out of 31 opponents, which is
Yeah.
some incredible streak, especially for his size and to
Yeah,
have that
really.
speed, the power, all of that. I mean, like that's why I love him. I'm a huge fight fan. Like I said, I grew up watching Ray Leonard, and I also grew up watching William Joppy,
Mhm.
Keith Holmes, some of the other dudes that's right here from DC. Fighting down at the old convention center, going
Yeah.
down there, fights, going to the DC Armory, seeing fights. If I'm not mistaken, did I see Floyd fight? And I went to school with Duck, DeMarcus John.
Oh yeah.
I went to school with
Yep.
Duck. Duck
Chop
went to
chop.
HD Woodson. Come from over Mayfair Paradise area, and just saying, just growing up in that atmosphere of great fighters when boxing was boxing, right? I mean, and that's when rounds was going 12, 15 rounds. I mean, eventually they got it down to 12, but I watched a throwback fight with Ray Leonard and Duran when they was winning like 15
Yeah.
rounds. And not just that they went 15 rounds, bro, they was bang,
Toe to toe. Yeah.
I mean, they was banging each other out. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, so for me to see that fight with Lamont and how composed he stayed and all of that, I was very impressed. Very impressed. I'm looking forward to the rematch of those
Yeah.
two going back at it. I think they said it might be in Vegas for the next one or back at Barclays. I think they'll sell the Barclays back out.
Oh, yeah,
And I
most
know if they
definitely.
go up to Barclays, I know I'll be up there to see that fight. So like as a boxer, right now, what are some of the fighters like Tank or some of the other fighters that you like watch, you follow, you like? Because I'm gonna tell you, was another guy that I like, and he's starting to get. I mean, Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
like Keyshawn, and what's the Abdullah Mason,
No.
right? I'm liking
He
these
cold.
guys that's on the come up, and that's why I see you positioning yourself. But tell me, like, who are some of the guys that you like, or you following, or want to see yourself, get those opportunities.
Uh, shoot. From my gym, you got Frankie Franchise. That's another guy who came in. He fought on the card with me. This past
Was he
Saturday.
after you? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
He was after me. He fight in a 130-pound division. He coming up in the rankings. Another one, Maximus Garland from my gym. He fight at 147. He coming up in the rankings. Jakeem Hutchinson, man, we fight the same weight class. He in my gym too. He coming up in the rankings. Like we got a whole set of fighters from the pros to the amateurs that's coming up. So I definitely want to see all of them get their shot, and we all coming up together. So they definitely know who Hillcrest is. And then DMV talent around here. If I name all the DMV fighters I want to see win, I'd be going for the whole night, the rest of the talk. But
Right.
everybody, I want to see everybody in the area win for sure. And they set the tone for that. Lamont, he set the tone. Antoine, he set the tone, and another stablemate who just won, Tierra Brown. She just won a featherweight title. She from my gym as well. So just seeing her finally conquer her dreams and get a belt, man, I know the blessings in the room for everybody in Hillcrest. So as long as I see all of them win, I know for sure I'm happy, man. I know we doing something right. So we on our way.
That's impressive to hear that when I asked you who you were following, who you wanted to emulate, you mentioned none of these guys.
Mm.
You mentioned the guys that's in your gym. And that's saying a lot about the talent that's in your gym and how you feel about those guys. Like you're
Yeah,
very confident about them as well as you are yourself. That's I'm looking forward to even, seeing some of those folks that I haven't heard of, the DMV, this area is rich in talent from boxing to football, basketball, volleyball, any type ball, any type sport. It's nothing easy around here. And I
really.
think the DC Council introduced legislation to make DC the sports capital of the world. Just because it's so talent rich with sports here.
Yeah,
We have champions in hockey, baseball, football, basketball. We not lacking in, of course, boxing. We have
yeah,
legendary boxers here. Riddick Bowe against Sugar Ray Leonard and a lot of other guys. And there, what was the brothers? The Russell brothers, right? He
Yup,
won his belt
yup.
about a month, well, a couple weeks before that fight.
Yeah, he
Uh,
fought on the undercard. Tank of Lamar
That's what it
Roach.
was,
Yup.
right? Okay, I knew that. I think they come from over Trinidad, an area that I grew up in. And sorry to hear their father passed away. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
But I'm just so glad to see local talent now starting to get the opportunities and the spotlight that we deserve. It's not
yeah.
like nobody giving us nothing. You guys got to
Right.
actually go out there, fight them fights, and deal with all of that stuff. The presses, build your fight up. So could you talk to me a little bit about the business side of boxing? Because you hear a lot of some of the horror stories, and you hear, a guy like Tank, who's, Floyd, these guys are making a lot of money. But I know sometimes coming up, a lot of guys ain't making a lot of money. They just trying to build their name up for that bigger payday and dealing with like promoters and trying to stay away from the snake guys or guys
Yeah.
that you hear. So could you talk to me a little bit about that?
It's like now in boxing, the way boxing set up, you can make tons of money in boxing. But like I said, you just all gotta have the right people around you. You gotta have that right coach who wanna see you go higher and higher. You gotta have that right promoter who wanna see you go higher and higher. Cause boxing, it's a dirty game, man. They chew you up and spit you out, literally. So you just gotta have those right people in your corner who willing to go that extra mile for you and see what's best for you. So it all gotta be what's best for you. At the end of the day, you got the final say so. This is your career, not nobody else. So whatever you say goes, but you gotta have those people that's in your corner or in your ear that got the right thing for you, just in case you're not really sure. Nah, I think you should do this. This would be better for you. This wouldn't be so right for you. Don't go here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything, every step got to be calculated. It got to be all calculated, good steps. So you gotta know that all money ain't good money. You just gotta have great people around you and all. But if you don't, then you'll end up on the wayside and they'll go right on to the next man. So you just gotta have the right people in your corner.
All right, talking about the right people. When I got the tickets, I got them from your dad, you and your father. You were
Yeah.
actually, I think, going to the weigh-in
Yep.
down in Maryland Live. So talk to me about your father, because it looks like he's more than just a father. He's
Mm.
he's helping you along the business side. He's trying to probably manage some things that you don't got to take on. That way, you get to just focus on boxing. Can you tell me about the relationship you and your father have and what it means to you?
Yeah, my father, man, I love him to death, man. He been around me all my life. He molded me into the man I am now. So just to have him around and then knowing that he did the same sport and I'm taking it to the next level, to have his support is everything. But he making sure I don't make the same mistakes he makes. So he's definitely on point with everything. He makes sure I don't have to worry about all the stuff that's going on. He want me just to focus on boxing. And he take care of everything. So I know he backing my play, and just to have his support, man, it's 10 times more motivation. So I know if he happy and I'm making him happy, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
So of course, I mean, he gonna be on me harder because I'm his son, but he know how to separate those things. He know how to be a father, and then he know how to be a coach, a dad, a business person, manager, however you want to put it. So it's just both of those go hand in hand, and we got real strong bonds. So I definitely appreciate him. It's definitely motivation.
And for a son to have a father believe in him, son, like that's the ultimate, right?
Yeah,
When you get your father's approval, he proud of you. He letting you know, son, you doing the right thing. I know that's gotta feel good and feel
yeah,
motivating to you. But let's talk about a little bit of the fame of boxing, right?
mm,
So when I was there at your fight, I noticed, it was different females in the crowd or whatever, screaming your name or whatever. How you deal with some of the fame and the attention that you're garnering right now, with your success? Is it you just trying to stay even kill? You're not trying to get too distracted, or sometimes you just, gotta be, a 22-year-old.
yeah. I'm locked in for real. So it's like, of course, I love that I'm getting that, but I know it's way more to go. So I don't really get too caught up in the fame and stuff right now because it's a whole lot more. Like I'm just starting. I ain't really do nothing yet. So it's a whole lot more to be done. So I mean, of course I acknowledge it when I can, but I don't get too focused on that or get comfortable with that. You're never supposed to get comfortable. So I know it's always room for improvement or it's even bigger that I can get. So I stay focused. I definitely love the support and everybody, even people that I don't even know that's hitting my phone, reaching out to me, they're a fan, they're a supporter. I like calling them supporters. I don't really like calling people fans, you know what I'm saying?
That's
But
great. Great
just to
terminology.
have that, it's definitely another piece of more motivation too as well to go even harder. But I don't really get caught up into that and try to get real big headed because I don't want it to turn me into somebody I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay true to myself. So I definitely appreciate it and acknowledge it, but I'm still locked in, focused.
Bro, the fact that you 22 and you this mature
Yeah,
and this discipline and focused, like I know you're gonna reach your goals, because most 22-year-olds, they gonna take advantage of this. Like if you just had a good fight,
yeah,
yeah, we going out to St. Ives, we going out Rose Bar Slim. Yeah, we gonna got the section, the bottles is coming. But the fact that you just like, that was just one step in the process.
yeah,
It's a journey. And I can see you locked into your journey, and it's just really good to hear that from a young dude like yourself, man. When you got dudes your age, the YNs, they active out here, they doing all this and doing all of that. But you got a lot of good YNs out here as well that's
yeah,
doing things like you doing. And like I said, the community piece, if there's something I can always just give to people, especially just coming on the show, I always tell them, man, stay involved in in the community, because that's where the love is, and that's where the love is needed. It's
yeah,
reaching and helping these young people, and you never know who you're going to inspire, that's looking up to you. Because I know the day that you came to Martha's table, man, a lot of kids, in the fact that I think you was letting them hold the belt, or
yeah,
take pictures with the belt. Like, some kids have probably never ever experienced that. Some adults have never held a belt in their hand before or met a fighter close up, especially one from their town.
yeah, most
So
definitely.
if there's anything that I could say, man, is keep doing that. But let's just talk a little bit down the road, right? With community, right? So do you ever see yourself, coaching boxing after you done, or trying to help a young up and coming fighter, like giving back? What's like, how would you want to see yourself giving back to the community?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can see myself coaching after box. I can definitely do that. But just being around, fundraising, giving back to my area, especially the one that I grew up in, just doing all types of stuff, doing random pop up checkups, helping people in any way they can. But just to show that that person who came from the same area as y'all, if he did it, y'all can do it just as well. And just really just give them that motivation. I feel as though some people they forget where they come from. So I definitely would love to go back to just show them that, you know what I'm saying, I'm just as regular. I'm that same old dude from back then who was just in the same shoes as y'all, but I made it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can do the same. So it's giving them that motivation, just being around them, and it's still gonna give me that edge too. So I won't lose myself. You know, you get to a certain level and people feel as though they too big for that, but that'll never be me. That's something that never happen. So it's really morals and principles that I want to stand by, and that's definitely one of them.
Right. That's a great one to have.
Yeah.
So, speaking into your future, um, do you plan on moving up weight classes, or as your body matures? Because you 22 now,
Yeah.
and I'm sure by the time you're 25, 26, 27, your body may change. You may put on weight. Do you see yourself, changing weight classes?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I plan on getting all the belts at 22, 26, and 30. I don't see myself getting up to 135, but even if I do, 135 at most. But yeah, I definitely plan on collecting all those belts. That's definitely my main top goal is once I clear the division at 22, do the same at 26. And by the time I get to 130 and do that, I should finish everything on my list. I should be ready to hang the gloves up.
I have a question about moving up in weight, right? So a lot of times as fight fans like myself, we'll be like, oh yeah, he could just put on 10 pounds and
Mm.
and go fight this dude or move up 15 and catch him at a catch weight. How hard is it? Because like now as I think about it, it didn't dawn on me like you guys are always training. And a lot of your training is cardio based,
Right.
running, you know, boxing, shadow boxing for hours on end, rounds after rounds, hitting the bag, all those things, working with the footwork, all of those things. So is it really hard to put on, let's just say to put on 10 pounds when you have so much cardio and conditioning built into your workout?
It really just based off of that person, what weight they walk around at. You know what I'm saying? How their body is, how their body feel at this weight or that weight. But them 10 pounds definitely make a difference. Shoot, 2 to 3 pounds make a difference. So that's what really what the weight classes is for. But it's all on how your body feel and how do you feel you can contend at those weight classes. But I'd say the best thing to do is to wait until your body is comfortable at that weight, or if you feel as though you're comfortable, which one you're strong at, fast at. It's just all elements that calculate with moving up to a certain type of weight class for real. But yeah, that's really about it. But with the conditioning and everything, it's you basically said it. All those rounds, everything got to add up and everything got to be calculated. But mainly that weight difference, you just got to be physically built to be in each and every weight class. Because it could be people. Say for me, I'm fighting at 122, and I can be coming down from 140. I can be coming down from 138. You go up to weight classes like 130, 135. You got people coming down from like 160, 165. So it's like
Wow.
that size difference, it make a complete difference. So that's why it's like really classified weight classes that you should be in.
So when someone loses, like when they lose or have to come down,
Mm.
do you feel like are they losing their power? Are they lose? It seems like you're gonna lose something.
Oh,
Like if
yes.
you losing that type of weight, right? Unless you just naturally got it. But I'm just thinking of myself, like, damn, now there is a lot of weight just to come down to. So let me ask you this: people talk about rehydrate, right?
Mm.
Rehydration. Could you talk to me like, so what's your walk around weight? And when talk to me about the process of like when you actually got to weigh in, and then when they be like, oh, he weighed in at 122 tonight, but
Right.
his fight weight is 132, 135 pounds.
Right.
What is that process like? What does that really mean?
Yeah, so me, the biggest I really ever walk around at is I say probably like 138 at most. But when you losing that weight, you all gotta lose it the right way. So just eating the right foods, making sure you're doing the right workouts, everything gotta be the right weight. But it's not good to get that big in between fights because then you losing that weight so quick, then you'll be losing your power and everything. But once you lose that weight and you go into the weigh-in, you get on the scale, boom, you win. You can. rehydrate to whatever you want, unless they got a rehydration clause. But some people they'll weigh in and then the next day be 20 pounds over, like 20
Yeah,
gain
we know some
15 to
fighters
20.
that have,
You know what I'm
done
saying?
that.
So it's just
Is that an advantage though? Like, is that an advantage if I weigh in at 135? That's what I'm supposed to weigh in, but fight night I'm 150. Is it because some people feel like that means he's gonna have more power, right?
it can, but at the same time it can't. It can be an advantage as far as like size wise, because you never know what anybody go through during the camp, how much they taking out of themselves by losing all that weight and then gaining all of that right back. So it can to a certain extent, but yeah, that it be like that. That's what I'm saying. It's weight classes for a reason. Somebody can drain themselves all the way down to this and then get so big of this. So that's what they be saying, like weight bullies, stuff like that. But I feel as though it can affect you though if you do lose that much weight because you taking so much out of yourself. It ain't gonna take you a day to bring everything back. You losing that, you losing most of the stuff that you need for the fight. So I say you should always be in a range to at most 15 pounds over from your weight. But after you weigh in and you rehydrate yourself, everything should still be calculated. The first 2 hours, I'm gonna make sure I get my drinks back, everything out my electric lights, then my salt, snacking on chips, and then you eat a decent meal to get your good carbs, stuff like that. And then after that, you eat your dinner. And then after that, rest up, wake up in the morning, eat your breakfast, and then before you fight, you eat your lunch however you want. But I feel as though everything like that should be calculated. You shouldn't just be, I'm gonna just eat everything. You get to the fight, man, stomach hurting, all types of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So, talking about eating, right? Because it's something I don't know. So, when do you stop eating? Like, do you eat 4 hours for your fight, 2 hours, as opposed you get hungry? You just gotta starve it out. Like, how you do that?
Nah, shoot. Of course, you eat your breakfast, but before you go in, even if you do get hungry, I say you eat a snack or
Like, what's a
something to
snack
snack.
that you would eat?
I say like some fruit or something that'll give you good energy. But I mainly say like fruit, more so some refreshing, something that'll fill you, but wouldn't put too much weight on you to make you feel like you got the
Sluggish.
itis, you sluggish. You know what I'm saying? Something that'll give you that fuel or boost you going into the fight.
And so, once you fight, right? Are you hungry? You ready to go eat a good healthy meal, or you going to like that? We going to Ruth Chris, man. Give me a ribeye, some
Yeah.
sweet potato casserole. Like, do you have
Hey,
that type of meal, like achievement meal, or you still just stay that we eating chicken breast, broccoli, and
nice.
rice?
I don't know for anybody else, but I know for me, after I secure my win, of course we going there. Any good restaurant we going to, we going there. I didn't ate and died it that long. Man, I need a celebration meal or some congratulations, but don't go too crazy though. But I definitely need my congratulation meal. Some good food, good desserts, or something, man.
Got you. One thing you said, you was just talking about the salts.
Mm.
Like, how does that affect your diet, your weight? Like, cause I mean, you talk about this like a science. Like, you talk about it from like a nutritionist, the fighter, the meal prep guy. So how do you balance your salts with your food? Is it like I'm not eating, I can't eat no potato chips. I'm staying away from salts. Just eating. Like, how do you do that? What is that about?
Yeah, you definitely as camp slow down and you get close to that time or you having to get close to your fight, you gotta make weight. So of course you gotta cut out a lot of salt. I can't eat a
Is
lot
that
of
gonna
food.
make you heavier?
Yeah, it can put the
Uh-uh.
weight on you and it can hold the weight. You gotta cut out the salt. I can't eat bread because you eating the bread, drinking your fluids, your water, that can hold weight. It's like a sponge, you know what I'm saying? That can hold the weight too.
Mm.
I gotta cut out my sugars. So it's like you taking away a whole bunch of things, then you cutting weight. So you get in between that 2 week frame and you cutting weight, your meals get smaller and smaller. Some people barely even eat. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So some people barely even eat, they barely even drink. So you getting close to that fight week and you cut that weight, you taking a lot out your body. So it's like when you gotta put all of that back in, you just want to make sure you do it the right way. You don't do it carelessly because that could affect you the next day for the fight.
Wow, man, it's good to like I said, as a fight fan, but to actually talk to a boxer to get these like intricate details,
Yeah,
guys, about how they diet, managing the salts, the sugars, not necessarily starving themselves, but the cutting back, the losing the water weight. Like that's what we here for. Like to
yeah,
give them the inside of the intricacies of boxing. Everybody know what it take, and they see the guy in the ring and the four, to do all of that, but they don't really know. Some like me, I learned a lot here today about what it takes pre-fight, post-fight, and do like fight day. Like,
yeah.
then I cause it never dawned on me, like, when they say they rehydrate, like damn, are they eating, like you said, breakfast? Are they having like lunch too? Are they having like something? Cause say like a guy like Tank, he's
Mm,
fighting the prime time spot. He's fighting late at night, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Late in the evening.
yeah,
And so how and when you come in, you see, and then you gotta warm up, right? Once you get your, you come in, you gotta get warmed up again. Is it, man, let me just have a piece of orange,
right.
maybe just an orange, like a little piece, bro, just to give me some sugars, things like that. So that was very interesting to hear how you guys go about managing, your diet, your weight, and all of those things like that. But tell us something about you that no one knows, or that something like, do you like to cook, just any interesting fact about you that most people don't know, or you would want people to know about you.
Man, I'm really a chill guy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see you as just this boxer, so they see you in the ring, they feel as though he's just this mean guy, this aggressive guy. But I be chilling, man. I'm laid back when I'm not fighting. I'm chilling in the house around family with my loved ones, laughing, joking. I really be clowning a lot too, but
All
I'm
right.
I'm really just chill. I'm normal chill guy. I be on the game, all
What
types of
game?
stuff. The Madden, 2K, GTA, Call of Duty, all kinds, man. If y'all got the game and y'all
Shout
want to
out
lock,
your tag.
yeah, lock in. Run it up Trey 10 on the PlayStation. So if
Run it
anybody
up,
want
Trey 10.
anybody
Y'all
want to
look
lock in,
for him,
man.
see him, Madden, whatever he on, look
Yeah,
him
for
up,
sure.
challenge him,
If
see
y'all
what
want
he
to lock
doing.
in, man, send me a friend request. I be on there, but that be most of my time. I be chilling. I only go outside when it's a reason to go outside. I don't really like being outside. You know it's crazy out here, so I don't really like being
Right.
outside for real. So I be chilling, man. I'm real family orientated, so I be around family for real, the ones who love me.
As you should. I mean,
Yeah.
with 9 brothers and sisters and a father, a whole family that has grew up with boxing. I mean, there's no reason. I know you got your good man here. Tell me who your good man is that you brought with you today.
Nah, that's my older brother. That's one of my
Oh,
older
and
brothers.
there
You
you go
know
again.
what
Your
I'm
brother,
saying?
somebody that's close to you that really has your best interests at
Yeah,
heart. And I tell a lot of these young dudes, man, about having good, solid people around you. Everybody ain't your friend.
right,
Everybody, ain't just cool with you. They cool with you because they trying to get something out of you, trying to cut into you, trying to get something from you. So you got to be able to understand and discern, what's what out here in the world, so you don't get backdoored, or
right.
these crazy stories that you hear, the things that's going on that you are doing a great job of staying away from. And I recommend all y'all do that, man. The streets, it's nothing out here. There's no heroes out here.
Nope.
The best killers they did, the best robbers they locked up or dead. The biggest hustlers, what that go to. So, all of that stuff is short-term success out here. I wish everybody, everybody had to start somewhere. So I'm not
Yeah,
knocking nobody. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I ain't no saint, you know what I mean? So I know what that's like. But still trying to pivot and change your life and try to do something different than what everybody else is doing. Set yourself apart. Yeah, you could be doing that, but you need to find a pathway out. Like none of us was, I don't, none of my homies was born with no $1 billion. They might have had a home, but wasn't nobody no millionaires,
yeah,
leaving no trust funds and nothing. They still had to come outside. They still had to do things to survive and take care of their family and kids. But we also, at the end of the day, had to realize, what, we saying our homies died, we saying our homies go to jail, we saying big drug cases, all of those things, but you gotta be able to shift and pivot and to do something else, right? To survive out here in another kind of way, another capacity. So whatever that is for each individual, you gotta find your own way. Being followers is for fools. You know what I'm saying? Leaders trailblaze their own path. I never followed anyone. I set my own trails. I blaze my own path. I ain't never followed nobody. Like, have I taken advice and learned and look? Yeah, that's what I do. But follow somebody, yo, that's the goofiest shit I ever heard of. And
I,
I tell anybody now, Slim, you wild. You wild as hell for doing that type. Yeah, you want to follow somebody that's making moves, somebody that's really doing it, not necessarily the streets, but somebody you idolize out here in the business community, at church, the barbershop, wherever, someone that has their own that you can aspire, you can learn from, gain some knowledge from that's gonna help, feed your mind, feed your
yeah,
spirit. Just other ways than just, following somebody, man. So Trey, other than that, I just like to say thank you today for coming on the
no doubt,
show.
no doubt.
It's episode 2. We just getting started.
Yes,
I
sir.
know we'll definitely have you back once you've accomplished some more things
Oh
and
yeah,
tell us
oh yeah.
about from this journey where it started from to now. Is there anything you want to tell the people before you get out of here?
The piggyback on he said to all the youngers out here, man, just be yourself, man. Stay true to yourself. Get close to your loved ones and tighten up, man. It's hard to have a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be out here in the streets to get street cred or be that guy. You know what I'm saying? So just really lock in with yourself, man. Get closer to God. You know what I'm saying? Really, because the streets don't love you at all. So just find yourself, man, and everything that you like to do, that you dreaming of doing, man, chase it, man. Only person that can stop you is you. But that's really all I could say, man. It's never too late, but don't let it be too late.
Wow, powerful stuff, y'all. Great advice. Please listen to that. Other than that, y'all, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Please subscribe to So Body Fit TV. We're gonna have dope people, good people, always giving good game. Next week we got a special guest. I'm not gonna drop no names, but looking forward to y'all seeing y'all next week. And again, peace. Thank you for coming on, Trey.
No doubt.
Bye bye.